I nearly said the wrestling thing. Oh,
nearly.
Getting a bit rusty. And I nearly laughed at, halfway through it. So, hello, everyone.
It just sounded a bit deeper because I changed the tune just randomly.
Yeah, hope you like it. I like it. So
it sounds beefy.
It's our podcast. Fuck you. Yes, welcome back. The thing I was just checking, you guys won't know, but yeah, it was a death. But it'll be a quick one because it's someone I don't really know. WWE put on their Facebook a Japanese wrestler called Maso Sato passed away.
I have no idea.
I just thought, well,
mention it anyway.
Yeah, we usually do deaths because we're morbid people, so we'll respect any wrestler, so we'll dedicate to him. But I also thought, the news came about, I don't know if this is kayfabe yet, but news has come about that Kane's broken his ankle. Yeah. I think it's kayfabe.
Yeah.
So I won't really, we'll just go
dive into that later.
Instead of deaths, I suppose we'll just wish people like Sami Zayn and all that speedy recovery, and Fandango.
Ambrose, I think he's more or less cleared, isn't he?
I think he might have been pushed back a month or two, which is a shame. But yeah, speedy recovery, guys. You're not dead, so great.
So Extreme Rules 2018,
or as the PG era would call it, rules. It may as well have been. I know
stipulations.
Yeah, because
that's pretty much it.
Well, straight off the bat, it's like,
why call it Extreme Rules when there's only one Extreme Rules match?
Well,
and that one was kind of just
lackluster.
Yeah.
The thing about it, which we'll probably complain about every year, and I could complain about it the years prior, is it was passable yet laughable that they go, I suppose they're including title matches as an extreme stipulation, which not.
No.
But that's their logic of like, there's something on the line.
Well, if that's the case, then every pay-per-view is an Extreme Rules match. It's bollocks. What a fucking cop-out.
Again, it's a laughable and just about passable excuse, and yet a match we'll get to quickly later is Finn Balor was on the card, and it was just a regular match. And it's meant to be the one night of the year where there's a stipulation in all of them, so... And already false points.
This was a running theme for the first half of the pay-per-view. Matches were very, very quick, and then they were busy doing other things like advertising or reminding you of the matches you've already previously seen. It's just like, you could not give these extra couple of minutes to the other people that have just had a really quick match.
The thing is, sometimes I get it in the sense of with America, people just tuning in, they go, this is what you've missed. But I'm thinking, well, with the network now, they can just go back and watch it from the beginning.
Yeah, it makes no difference.
So I suppose they're catering to people who don't have the network, but if you really want them to get in the network, stop doing that.
Yeah.
They advertised SummerSlam twice. Wasn't really impressed with the advert this year.
Yeah, like the second advert, I think I turned to the minister and said, did you know SummerSlam's happening? Yeah. Did you not know that? Just in case you were unsure, here it is.
In case you missed the first 3 commercials. Yeah.
And also the way that, we're getting on my nerves anyway, but I literally past the point now where I want him to go away. Michael Cole saying WWE. Just the way he says it. I actually found out that he said WWE 3 times in the space of 30 seconds at the start of the pay-per-view. And then I said to Sarah, I guarantee the second that Reigns comes out, the first thing that Cole's going to say is, here he is, the big dog! And he did. And it's just like, God, we know who he is. It says it on his T-shirt. We're not idiots.
It's cliche stuff. It's cliche stuff that is not needed. Same with, not only am I sick of, here comes the big dog, it's boss time.
Yeah.
It's Siticher.
It's the Empress of Tomorrow. We know!
Yeah.
It's Charlotte Flair. Yeah, we know. It says Flair on the back of her fucking coat.
I get if you're catering to new viewers and people, maybe the first time it isn't going to piss them off. But you should cater more to your loyal fans.
Sorry, but you shouldn't be catering to the new viewers. If they get into it, that's great. They'll pick it up along the way. When I first got back into wrestling, when you first got me back into it, I wasn't thinking, well, who's this person? Why aren't they telling me this? I figured it out myself.
Well, even if I was trying to do it now...
It's pandering to morons.
Yeah, if you were watching it, I don't think you would have gone, ooh, the big dog. Because the first thing you would have said after Michael, here comes the big dog, you would have just looked at me and goes, okay, what's his actual name? Roman Reigns. Yeah, that's his nickname. But Michael Cole is just no fault of his own. It's obviously Vince saying it every time he comes out.
Yeah, he shoves it down his face and just shouts in his ears, say it again. It's just, but it's getting to the point now where I'd want a different commentator. Yeah. He's getting on my nerves now.
We're beginning to sound very bitter. We haven't even discussed the pay-per-view.
So we crack on with the first with the kick-off. Let's get that out of the way.
The kick-off, I knew it was Sin Cara Almas.
I watched the highlights.
Well, apparently their matches have been good, so it might be a match to go back on. I was confused why Sanity New Day in a table match of all things was on the pre-show. It's a match I'd really want to see on the main.
Way to build Sanity. They've lost twice on the TV, and they may have won, but they won on a pre-show.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they won, but the highlights they showed is like even the crowd are giving them good pops. It's like, yeah, should have been on the main card. Yeah.
Because, put Balor and Corbin on.
I was going to say that. Yeah, because I was glad to see both of them on the card because I was thinking like, well, what are they doing with Finn nowadays? Like, oh, he's got a match. Oh, the Corbin thing. But it's such a minor storyline. It's a pre-show storyline.
And also, I mean, we'll get to that. Fuck it. We'll get to it when we get to the match. Let's just carry on.
Yeah, Sanity won, and it was at Almas. Okay. Yeah. Right, first match was the Raw Tag Titles with Bray and Matt versus the B Team.
Yes.
You can take it first.
I'm kind of in the middle of the road with this match.
Me too.
You know, it's just like I'm kind of like right. The match wasn't very long. I started to get into it, and they did have a couple of hot tags and a couple of decent spots, and I was invested in it. But then it was over ever so quickly. B Team won. Now I'm not against that per se. It's in the manner that it was done. It was just kind of like, I felt like they should have slogged it out for another 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And then maybe it just seemed to be over too quickly.
I think it's
a good push for them.
Yeah, it's coming down, I think, to a little bit of laziness by storytelling and stuff.
Yeah.
Because
they're not giving them the freedom. They're just saying, this is what you've got.
Which, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm all up for Bo and Curtis getting their push.
Yeah.
But it seems to always be at the expense of Bray, these people get...
at the expense of somebody that deserves a push.
Yeah, well, Matt was red hot. To the point that, yeah, okay, he should be beaten at some point, but keep his momentum going to get into at least the main event scene before you start talking about, right, who should beat him. But I would have been better if during the Raws build up to it that just, no matter what Bo and Curtis did... Matt and Bray always had the upper hand, so when they won at Extreme Rules...
It'd be a big deal.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, major upset, instead of like they've beaten
Yeah, because when they did it, I was kind of shocked going, oh, okay. But what I wanted was, holy shit, I didn't get that, because like you say, they beat them a couple of times in singles matches, so it's like, alright, so there's credible reason of why they beat them then.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it would have been...
It's not really an upset.
If Matt and Bray had just defeated them, or had the upper hand on them all the way up to the pay-per-view... I would have been sitting there going, right, I think what they're going to do here of going to build Bo and Curtis's momentum so the crowd are behind him thinking, all they're going to do is, and then right at the last second, Matt and Bray swipe them from underneath and walk out with the belts.
And then they could have built it to SummerSlam and then have the B Team in SummerSlam.
That's what I would have thought was a fan, but again, I like to be shocked. So if they'd just done all what I expected, that like all the building Bo and Curtis up, but I don't think they're going to do it, and suddenly... Actually, they do. There's your holy shit moment. So, but I still would have done it. I think Bo and Curtis is still just teetering towards the heel-ish team.
Yes, I think in this it was like both teams were playing heel and face at the same time.
Yeah,
which was weird.
It was weird.
I haven't had that in a long time.
I suppose they should have also touched on the fact that Bo and Bray are brothers, because everybody knows it.
No, I don't think they should. I think they do that too often. It's just like, oh, well, it's in the public eye, so let's just make it aware. No, it's fine. We know they're brothers. They've never mentioned it before, so let's just not mention it again, because they've always treated Bray as a separate entity. He's not a regular person.
Yeah,
He's Bray Wyatt. Yeah. He's not a person. He's the Eater of Worlds.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to be aware that he's got a family, because no one cares.
Yeah,
you don't want to know. It's like Undertaker. You don't want to know that he's got a family.
Well, apart from Kane.
But again, that works into a storyline. But with Bo, it's not the same.
No, I don't want Bo joining the Wyatt family or anything like that.
No.
So I would have had for a while if Bo and Curtis, they kind of did win cheaply, but like a full-on cheap victory, like a holding the tights, holding the rope to do it. And keep having victories like that, the best way to get them over is give them a decent length match to the point that they purely are just wrestling, like half hour of wrestling.
And you come away from it going, they've earned that.
Yeah, and then they've proved themselves in the ring to go, once the fans can sit back after the match and go, actually, these guys are good wrestlers, every victory they have from then on will be more believable.
Yeah,
that's how you get a guy over.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I'm glad that they've won the belts.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of the road with it.
Yeah.
I'm just on the fence.
Well, yeah,
I'm
interested to see where it's going to go.
Yeah.
I'm interested if they're going to take the ball and run with it for Bo and Curtis. But I'm interested where Matt and Bray go from here. Are they going to do a breakup?
The tweet that Matt Hardy sent out, it made it sound like they're going to break up.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know if I don't really want another Matt Bray rivalry just yet.
No, I want to keep them as a tag team. I like them as a tag team. It's
do.
good for both of them for a little bit.
Maybe.
It's better for Bray, but
it might make more sense for if they're just going to break them up without a rivalry. I don't really see him as doing a segment where they shake hands and go, well, we tried, good luck with the rest of your career, maybe we'll pass across again soon. They're not that kind of character.
No.
If one of them goes away for a while, like off TV, and I'm sorry, I think it should be Bray.
Yeah. Make us miss him.
Yeah, put Matt back in the singles picture, give him some rival that isn't in that kind of supernatural realm, because Bray is and Finn is. Have someone that's...
Add him into the US title picture.
Yeah, or if you want, ideally, I'd like it to be Roman, because it gives Matt that spotlight and it takes Roman away from the title picture, and it's just an interesting dynamic between the two.
Yeah, I'd be interested in
that. The big dog versus this weird, just someone he's never faced before with that kind of character, but a broken gimmick. But yeah, okay, we'll see.
Finn Balor.
Yeah.
It was nothing for me. There wasn't really a match, to be honest. It was over reasonably quickly with a roll-up, which I don't like.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, they were building up to...
Just fucking coup de grace him and pin him, you know what I mean?
They were building up to coup de grace all the time, and fair enough, I'm guessing people want to see Finn win, but as soon as it happened, I was like, see, I know a lot of people haven't just paid a ticket to see one move, but I think a lot of paying customers would have liked seeing at least one coup de grace.
Yeah, if you're watching Stone Cold Steve Austin and he doesn't pop out a stunner,
yeah, of course,
you'll be annoyed.
Yeah, so it wasn't a bad match wrestling wise.
It's just a standard Raw match.
You can't be invested in it when the storyline isn't strong enough.
There's nothing. And another thing, I suppose it's just a nitpick, but Baron coming out in a suit and everything. I don't agree with it when he's got a proper match. I don't mind it when he's being comfortable and he's not in a match. He's got himself a waistcoat and slacks on and everything. But you're not fucking corporate Kane.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do.
But I don't want that. I want it like when you're in the ring and you're having a match, you put your gear on.
Yeah,
because you need to have that separation. It's like, okay, so I'm business here, doing my job for Steph and being comfortable. When I get in the ring, I'm wrestling in a ring.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunately for Baron. I think what they're trying to do with him is equivalent of someone on SmackDown. I forget now because I thought about it the other day. But he sort of doesn't know what to do with his character. He knows who he wants to be, but I think he knows he needs to do something different to get over. But he hasn't got any ideas. And by the looks of it, the company running out of ideas for him, which is a shame because he's not bad at what he does, but he's not great.
He just hasn't been given a proper
push. He's one of them where outside, out of mind. If he's not on TV, you're not thinking about it. You're not going, where's Baron?
No, you're not. No.
So, but when you really think about it, if someone goes, name like a proper mid-carder, he's one of the first to come up. He's not down there as a shit, like, no offence to him, Heath Slater, Kurt Hawkins type, but he's definitely not a main event type.
Yeah.
He needs to find his place, and Finn needs to be back.
Yeah, he needs to be in a main event picture. It's getting ridiculous now.
Yeah. Give him a mic, but stop him smiling all the time.
Yeah,
he needs to get serious.
Bring the Demon back as well. I'm getting sick of not seeing that as well.
But yeah, they've built it up long enough. The Demon needs to return soon. So then it was the SmackDown Women's
Asuka versus Carmella. Obviously, James Ellsworth in a shark cage. Obviously, we know he was going to get involved. There's no way he's staying up there for the entire match. He didn't really stay up there long before he was chucking down things and picking the lock. And
well, yeah, I thought, okay, that doesn't take long. Which I would think this match is going to be short.
This is another thing. It was another short match. Baron thing was a short match. This was a short match, and the US title was a short match as well, which we'll get to.
Yeah. Well, I did begin to like the different things they're doing with the shark cage. At first, great, he's throwing things down.
I don't mind the idea of him being hung upside down.
Yeah, that was a good idea. I thought because that's not typical Ellsworth character. That would happen.
Although
to him.
The harness was too bloody obvious.
Yeah, but if they're nitpicking
production value.
Yeah. So as soon as that happened, it's like, okay, it's very clumsy Ellsworth character. It's a bit of justice for Asuka here. It seemed to me, I was like, well, we know Carmella's getting up at some point, which seems to be taking ages. Didn't get what Ellsworth was wearing, Kevlar.
I think it was
a genuine back injury, possibly.
No, I think it was maybe to strap him to the thing that hangs him upside down.
Maybe, that's true.
Keeps him taut.
But the shove into the cage...
Yeah.
To end it, I would have been like, right, I get you're trying to get that, oh my god, weapons really hurt, or steel and all that. But Asuka's a tough chick.
Yeah,
everyone knows that. And the way I would have done it would have just been, it would have been 90 seconds more. I would have had the Asuka shoved into the cage, and you think, oh, this is it.
Then a kick.
And then the kick out. Everyone's like, oh no, Asuka's a tough bitch, she can do this. And is that suspend the belief of maybe Asuka's walking out?
They're just ruining it.
Well, yeah, but then
she hasn't won a pay-per-view yet.
No, but you should have Asuka get up. Well, she won the Royal Rumble, that's about it. Yeah, have Asuka get up, start kicking the crap out of Carmella, and then while Ellsworth's still upside down, have maybe grab Asuka by the ankle. She's trying to fight it off, and the ref's trying to say, let that go. While this is happening, Carmella could have been just taking the turnbuckle pad off, and then when Asuka comes back, another headshot into the turnbuckle pad. So it's like, right, now you've got the cage and the pad, super kick. That would have, would have took 90 more seconds, if that. But no, they had to go with a little lackluster.
If I'm honest, can you really think of any wrestling spots in that match at all? There was nothing that I can think of that there's some wrestling going on here.
It's only the Ellsworth stuff.
Yeah, there's a couple of little bits, and then it got into the Ellsworth stuff, head to the cage, goodbye. And it was...
Yeah, it's not
good enough. I'm sorry, it's not good enough. It's like, I understand they want to build Carmella as this big heel, but you've got to build her as a badass at the same time. You've got to make sure she's got some longevity. You can't have her constantly squirming out of things, and that quickly to someone that's, like I say, as hard of a bitch as Asuka is.
Yeah,
and you're ruining the character of Asuka in the process.
They've got to treat it almost like the Undertaker-Edge rivalry, because Edge was, again, ultra-opportunist, always screaming away from Taker back then, but he could wrestle. Or he had the opportunity to wrestle. I don't think Carmella's bad at what she does, but she hasn't had a chance to actually wrestle yet. They get this championship reign to get their character.
Sarah said the exact same thing. I said, I haven't seen her do a proper wrestling match yet.
No, she was good in NXT.
Yeah.
But she had the opportunity to wrestle. So this championship reign is getting her character over, as well as Ellsworth.
But not her skills.
But yeah, so by all means have her just squirm away with the belt, but just have her wrestle first and try all her big moves and skills, and then when she looks like she's in trouble, then by all means begin to play dirty. But wrestle first, as a bad guy thing, if it's not working.
It's like all the bad guys in the Attitude Era. The problem is, most of these days, some of the heels and everything are just doing anything to squirm away and get out of it cheaply. Back in the Attitude Era, they would still kick the shit out of their faces, really show how good they were, as well as the faces, and then they would do a squirmy move.
Triple H, great example.
Yeah.
Triple H was ruthless. He'd go behind them and kick the crap out of them. He'd have a decent match, but as soon as the example with that is Stables, in the sense of they had backup. So it was almost a confidence
But they wouldn't
thing.
squirm out of it too early, is my point.
Yeah, but as soon as backup's away, they're like, okay, I'm still good for the minute. But as soon as the face star would get up or get momentum, that's when they try and squirm out. That's when the character needs to be heel.
It's a case that they need to remind you that they're a slimy little bastard, but not at the start or the middle of the match.
They've got to prove that they belong there.
Yeah, they've got to prove. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, or maybe it's the climate we're in, because it is. We are in that climate where heel guys are cheered because we appreciate a decent heel character.
True.
But at the same time, they've still got to do their job. So, because what I was going to say about Baron, I think what would really help him is a stable where he's the leader. So he can stand there and send his minions in and to do the thing, and then he comes in and picks up the pieces. And just be even a bully to the people he's controlling. So, for example, the Ascension, or someone like that, or Authors of Pain.
Yeah.
If Baron, as Constable, he can do that. He can just recruit them and be like, to Kurt Angle, right, Steph's put me in charge, you general manager of Raw, but these are my boys. And if we don't agree with something you've done, they'll go and sort it out for me. Something like that, and then you can build it up. You
could actually build that through a lot of different storylines, because every time someone steps out of line, the next thing you see is the Authors of Pain beating them up in the back lot. And you know for a fact it's Corbin that's ordered it.
And
you get to the point where you've got everybody hating Corbin, and there's fuck all they can do about it because he's in charge.
But you could build him as a powerful heel stable. You could build it up to when they turn on Baron, or if you wanted to, if you really wanted to do it, have it to at one point Steph really pisses Baron off at something at some juncture. have the Universal Champion at the time, a heel character, wherever, and have Steph with that Universal Champion, like all gleeful with whatever's going on in the ring, and then suddenly on one side Authors of Pain turn up, and who did I say? Ascension, yeah, and then Baron, and even Steph's looking like, what the hell are you doing? And then they turn face and go for the heel star. That would be a big pop because like Baron's finally had enough.
Yeah,
he's got his gang with him, and now that especially a build up to Survivor Series or something. But again, we're kind of fantasizing about what.
Let's move on to the next one.
So the US title.
Right now,
I know what you're going to say. I think, but
this was over really, really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It was a case of he low blowed him before the bell. Jeff got the ref to start the match. And then it was shocking because before the bell had even finished, Nakamura was halfway across the ring, Kinshasa the shit out of him, and took the title. Now, I am totally fine with this entire thing.
Yes, me too, thank you! Okay.
I am fine with it. I'm totally fine with it. The only problem is it doesn't hit the exact spot I want because of how quick the other matches were beforehand. If some of those had a bit more longevity, then this would have been a hell of a bigger shock. It was awesome, but I'm kind of like, well, I've just had 3 matches that lasted less than 5 minutes, and then I get this. That's where I'm in the middle of it. I totally think it's awesome, and it's just like, as soon as the bell rang, I just went, holy shit! I was like, he fucking clobbered him.
Yeah.
And I really was popping for it, but I feel like I could have been more amped of how quick this was over if these other matches weren't so goddamn quick in between.
Yeah.
That's where I'm stuck with it.
Again, it's easy in hindsight when you know the matches and match lengths that come after. But also the whole thing I didn't expect, because as soon as the low blow happened, I thought...
Here we go.
Well, I just thought, as soon as he hit it before the bell, I was like, Shinsuke's already won this. Now, from the get-go, I was like, Shinsuke needs to win this because string of losses...
Yeah, the right person won.
It's still, in a way, it really helped Shinsuke get over more heel because people were still wanting to cheer him, but now this is another notch on the heel train. Then it was kind of, in a way, putting AJ over in the sense of, right, just because AJ beat Shinsuke doesn't mean Shinsuke isn't a tough bastard, and it took one lead to take Jeff out. He needs the belt. I think one of the reasons they didn't do it is that Jeff's health problems are well noted.
He's not well at the moment.
But I think the match length thing might have been shortened because of what I didn't expect, which was the return of Randy Orton.
Because I was literally saying...
I completely forgot he was even gone.
Well, that's the thing. I was literally saying, because I didn't think about it, and then I think I was halfway through the SmackDown women's match, and I just went, Sarah, when was the last time we saw Orton?
Yeah, but according to them, it's been 2 months.
I don't know.
So I think it was Mania.
It's been a while. I was like, where's he gone? I was like, we've got no thing. I was like, and then he comes back, it's like, oh, right, okay, he's back then.
I completely forgot. I think when I really think about it now, his last match was against Jeff at Backlash, and that was the last time when I'd seen him. So, but there was already rumours circulating that Hogan was at Extreme Rules, which he was, but I was more like, oh, don't bring him out. I don't want to see it. So when Orton's music hit, it was almost a breath of fresh air, a little surprise, and like, oh, interesting.
What he did next was
I like it because I prefer heel Orton.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, with everything that's been going on with WWE lately, it wouldn't surprise me if they still keep him face. But I want this to be his heel turn. He stomped Jeff in the balls, basically.
You can't stare Shinsuke down and not do anything, but then kick the face down the balls
and walk away
and not be heel.
Yeah,
you know?
He's got to be heel. He's better as a heel. We all know that. He wants to be heel. He said for the last 3 years, I want to be heel, but they want me face at the minute, so I've got to deal with it.
It wouldn't surprise me if, because they made the match during the night that tonight on SmackDown, Jeff gets his rematch.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even going to take off. I think before the match, either Shinsuke is going to attack Jeff again, or Orton is. And at SummerSlam, if Jeff is genuinely that badly hurt, they might go with Orton Shinsuke again at SummerSlam.
But Shinsuke needs to retain.
Yeah, or I'd rather a triple threat. If Jeff can go right, I can make it to SummerSlam. Obviously, in triple threats, there's points where he can wrestle.
Fight. He could be protected a bit more.
Yeah, get me through SummerSlam, do the triple threat, and then I'll go and heal my legs up.
Yeah.
So I think that's the direction they're going. So I liked that whole...
I did like it. I'm not saying I didn't like it. It's just I felt like I would have reacted even better than I did.
Yeah.
Given what was before.
Yeah. Now, my favourite now, the cage match.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I was looking forward to it anyway. I was thinking this was probably going to be one of the better parts of the night because it's Kevin Owens and Strowman. We all know who's going to win.
Well, either way.
But, I mean, it didn't go the way I thought it was.
It was executed perfectly.
We always assumed that Strowman was going to win. And yeah, that didn't happen.
Well, I thought, because I finally was thinking...
It works for Strowman's character because it's kind of like, I don't give a shit whether I win or lose. I just want to destroy him. Well, and he did.
What I was worried about was the way I saw it, I thought it'd be too easy just for Braun to go in, destroy him 1, 2, 3, because it's like, well, we've been seeing that on Raw.
Cage?
Yeah, so, or even escape. It's like, well, okay. But I was thinking, don't do what you did at the Greatest Royal Rumble, because I was thinking Kevin's going to win again by getting thrown through the cage wall. Yeah, he'll be hurt, but he'll win. And I'm thinking, nah, you've done that at the Greatest Royal Rumble, it's too soon. So, the handcuffs seemed to come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
As did the little stunner. I was like, alright, cool.
It's out of nowhere. I like the fact that the reason this worked so well is because the story is built correctly.
Yeah.
They built it over a few weeks, the fact that Kevin kept running away from Strowman every opportunity he got. Strowman kept getting his hands on him as best he could, but couldn't keep his hands on him.
Yeah.
So that the cage instantly made sense. You can't get out. You've got to go over the top. So, and I love the fact that the second the bell ring, Kevin's trying to get out straight away, at least 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they built the story correctly so that the payoff was perfect.
Yeah, I think my brother doesn't really like the storyline in the whole, almost in the anti-bullying campaign way. It's like, well, what's Kevin into Braun? Braun's just bullying Kevin for no reason. It's like,
yeah.
But as a casual viewer, I suppose, or a child viewer...
But it's still a well-built story.
Yeah, it's one of them for a casual viewer or for a kid viewer to go, well, we've seen what Kevin's been doing. This is more like his comeuppance.
Yeah.
Like, he's now come across this big bad bastard.
That he can't get by.
Yeah, and he knows he can't, but Braun's going to punish him for all his past sins.
Yeah.
So, got the handcuffs out, the socket with a nice touch. I thought,
Yeah, because I didn't expect that at all, because I thought he was just going to go over the top of the thing, and that would be it. I knew that Strowman was going to rip.
Yeah, I knew that.
That was going to happen. Of course it was. But
he shot up to the top of the cage.
Yeah. As soon as he turned around and just went, "Hey, Braun, suck it!" And you little bastard.
It wasn't until I think Braun stood upright on the cage, is like, they ain't going to do this, are they?
Yeah.
Because it's still quite high. It may not be Hell in a Cell,
but it's still high.
But I also thought he's took that major bump at Money in the Bank. Is he going to do this again? And sure enough, just
threw him. I thought himself. I was so invested at the moment. I wasn't thinking correctly, and as he was about to throw him, I thought, "No, wait, don't throw him. You'll lose." And
Braun
just didn't give a shit. And again, it works for his character.
Yeah.
He lost the match by throwing Kevin Owens, but he
landed like a sack of shit.
Yeah, he did. I think he hit his neck quite badly as well. He seemed to be favouring him when he was on the floor.
I don't know if he was on Raw last night.
No,
I don't know his actual well-being. I think I would have heard something by now if it was a serious injury. But the fact is, he's took 2 major bumps at the last major pay-per-views, which means he's proven his worth to the point, like, right, when he's back, and whatever storyline you want to finish with him now, he needs to be back in the Universe title picture soon.
Yep.
He's proved his worth here.
Yep.
He's getting you a lot of money. He's doing his job right. He's doing a lot of spots that other people wouldn't want to do. Come on, give the guy a break. So, because in some documentaries on the network, he's said to himself, like, I was disappointed myself with that. Vince is disappointed with this. I need to build myself back up again, and he's doing it very well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The Sammy thing, I don't know if it was a bad thing that he got injured when he did, or a good thing. But I personally, I think it's a good thing because I think Kevin can now go, right, this isn't a tag team thing.
Yeah.
I can focus on me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
a good match.
To me, that was the match of the night.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
SmackDown tag titles.
Yes.
Right, this was kind of the marquee match for the pay-per-view. It was on the posters.
It's on the poster. It'll be on our thumbnail.
Well, they did the attack beforehand.
Yeah,
with the Bludgeon Brothers attacking them backstage.
Attacked the leg, threw him into the side.
But I was thinking, okay, is this because one of them's genuinely hurt, which is making me think, what was Kane's health genuinely like?
Then Brian's basically, it was a 2-on-1 for the first half.
Yeah, to me, it just kind of was a little bit of a letdown, the match.
I mean, it was all right. It wasn't bad.
You knew Kane was going to come out at some point.
Yeah, the Kane came out at some point in the leg strap, and he didn't really do too much, to be honest. He did a couple of bits, but not a lot.
Yeah, a couple of shitty choke slams, which I know he was trying to sell the ankle injury.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Luke and Eric were selling it like it was a full-on choke slam. It's like, no, just see it as a bit of a lacklustre bump.
I mean, I'm fine with the Brothers retaining him because, again, you're keeping them strong, and that's what you want to do. Because eventually, I'm kind of hoping they'll build towards their insanity. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But, yeah, keep them strong, not a problem. The only thing I'm a bit weirded out about is that the fact that Brian at the pin. Because you're building this entire thing that Kane's the one that's injured and not doing too well, so why is it that Brian eats the pin? It's not going to damage Kane anyway by eating that pin, but it kind of damages Brian a little bit, because this is his slow build towards getting back to the main event scene, and if he's losing this, people are going to start to lose credibility in his character.
Maybe. I think they're, in one sense, the WWE know that Brian's got such a following, people are going to be behind him either way.
Yeah, we'll always be behind him. It's just
but again, I know he can't lose all the time.
Yeah.
With Kane, I think... And there's no offence to Kane, because Kane's got to know he's now at the end of his career.
Yeah, he's on the last table.
Yeah. So you need to... I think Brian, if you look on paper, you go, well, Brian's the stronger of the two, I suppose, charisma and momentum-wise.
Yeah.
So to get Kane back as... I think maybe Brian took the pin to go, well, even with a broken ankle, Kane is that much of a threat to Harper and Rowan that maybe they'll go with the easier option. I think they're trying to build Kane up as a bit of a monster again, which is difficult to do in this day and age.
Yeah,
because
it really is.
He's a bit of a... Well, he's a bit past it, he's a bit chubby, and anyone knows he's running for mayor.
Yeah.
So it's like... But that was
there's a reality to the character. So
yeah, and it's also maybe one of the reasons... in my head, I had it, there's a possibility that Team Hell No are going to do this like a week before the pay-per-view. Maybe this was always the way it was planned to go, or maybe something has happened with Kane's mayor thing, or genuine ankle to go, right, we're going to change the finish, Bludgeon Brothers will hold on, Kane's going to go off and do his thing, Brian, we'll sort something out later down the line. But yeah, it just
alright.
Yeah, it didn't hit home for me.
No.
But yeah, it's not good, it weren't bad.
Yeah.
Well, next was Bobby Roman.
Yeah, now this I thought was going to be the main event.
I was so happy he weren't. As soon as it came up, next Bobby Roman, like, yes!
Yes! So I was like, oh my god, right, okay, so that means that either Rusev and AJ are going to be at the top, or Nia and Alexis are going to be at the top. And immediately, it was the Iron Man. I was like, okay, we'll get to that, because I had my theories of when they announced that was going to be the main event. My brain went, okay, this is the reason why I think it is, which was bollocks, but...
Bobby...
So yeah, Bobby... Reigns. No, again, nobody gave a shit. The crowd didn't give a shit at all.
They gave more of a shit than they did for the Jinder match.
Definitely. But I thought it was a reasonable match.
It was reasonable because at first I was thinking, right, they're doing what, in a way, I kind of wanted to do, of just ignore it straight away to try and still further get a point across that we're not really that invested in Bobby, and we're still definitely not behind Roman. But again, like I say, it wasn't bad. When Bobby took that really hard spill over the top rope,
threw him over, proper landed on his shoulder, quite bad. His hip, really quite bad. I thought they might. Well,
that's when the crowd began to kind of go, "Oh, all right." That was that was the spot that made people go, "Okay,
sit up and pay attention."
It wouldn't have surprised me if Bobby, in his head, it didn't look like it was an accident as such. I think Bobby might have just thought in his head, I'm going to take this bump to get their attention, because they must have known that people were just not really interested.
They probably spoke about it beforehand and said, we're going to have to do something to get them to sit up and listen.
Unless Bobby just during the match went out, really throwing me over that top rope, and I'm going to slap, because everyone knows how Bobby is built, so he could have took that blow.
He's a tough fucker.
It did look bad, the fall in slow motion, but when you look at how big and tough he is, it's like, he's probably just shrugged that off and he's good to go again. It went sort of the way I thought it would go, as just two powerhouses colliding, and I'm glad it ended the way a part of me knew it would happen, but I think there was a small part of me thinking, Bobby's winning this, but the bigger part of me was more hope than...
I don't get me wrong, I think the right person won, and I was hoping that he would, but I thought to myself, it's not going to happen. So Reigns is going to win. Reigns always wins, lol. It's like the Cena disease. But yeah, I was actually quite surprised when he didn't win and he lost to a spear by Bobby.
Yeah, well,
it wasn't a great spear.
No,
it was
a
kind of a
bit
half-assed spear.
spear.
He didn't really wrap his arms around properly. He kind of just hit him with the shoulder and he went down and that was it. But I expected Reigns to kick out.
Well,
and the fact that he didn't, I was like, right, okay, they're building Bobby again,
well,
which is the right thing to do. If you're going to put building Bobby, you've got to have him beat a big one.
Yeah,
so
I'm not
Reigns
gonna,
is that guy.
Again, some developments happen on Raw, which I can't talk about.
No.
But with Bobby, I think the wishful thinking is ever since the whole fuck-up at Backlash where people walked out of Joe Roman, which, by the way, where the hell's Joe?
I know,
mean, he's there, do something with him.
SmackDown, they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
I don't think they're
something with Ty Dillinger. He's a main event player. Do something with him. I mean, he was against Lesnar this time last year. So, but I think they might have seen the rumor after Backlash was Vince going, okay, it's an eye opener. But still, he's got his muscle fetish, so he's kind of going, right, we'll get Lashley as the new guy.
I was going to say, keep your muscle. If you want to keep your muscle fetish, then fine, but put it on someone else.
Yeah, I mean,
put it on Strowman like you are slowly doing. Put it on Lashley, fine, but don't put it on Reigns because no one cares.
Yeah,
I think people can get behind Lashley quicker than they will Reigns.
Well, ever since Extreme Rules, yeah, because he did a good match.
Yeah.
But it was also my logic was more, Bobby's just returned. You can't stop his momentum dead this soon, and also Roman's won the last few pay-per-views. I think he can have a loss now. So,
I think as you said that, I was like, it's not going to damage him if he loses.
No, he won against Joe. He won against Jinder. So fair enough. And you know, whatever happened with Greatest Royal Rumble, he lost, but he'd say he won. So whatever. But yeah,
it was better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was a reasonable match. It's a shame the crowd didn't care, but we knew it was going to happen anyway.
It was the right call.
It was the right call, and it was a reasonable match.
Yeah. Then it was the Raw Women's title.
Yes.
Which...
that was the Extreme Rules match. First ever Women's Extreme Rules match.
Weren't that extreme?
No.
It looked like it was going to be when all those weapons started getting thrown in the ring.
But the extreme part of it was exactly what I thought. It's just a few spots of hitting each other with sticks and trays. And
trash cans.
The only real kind of big bit was where she dropped Alexa through the trash can.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it was just hitting each other. Then you've got Nikki getting involved and Talia stopping Nikki getting involved. Then you've got Ronda that got involved because she's in the crowd with a ticket and her husband. We knew that was going to happen.
The thing is...
And then obviously I expected Alexa to retain.
I knew Alexa would retain because it looks like they're going to build it to Alexa Rousey at some point, probably SummerSlam.
But it's at Nia's expense, which is annoying because I like Nia and I think she deserves a bit more.
But the way they did it was kind of like, well, they'd used dirty tactics and weapons
DDT
to
on the
do
chair.
it. So,
it's acceptable. It's fine.
The thing was, this was where, again, the hindsight plays a big part in this. For this match and for the WWE Championship match, both of those matches could have gone on longer. Also, with the fact that as soon as Natalya came out, there was that kind of logic of like, well, she's to even the odds because Mickey's there. But I was thinking, right, also, Ronda's best mate. Ronda's best mate. Did I say Rondy?
Rondy.
Yeah, Rondy.
A sex change.
Rondy Rousey. Yeah. Ronda's best mate. Obviously, something's going to happen to make Ronda jump the barrier, and it did. Or will Natalya turn on someone and the shock thing? But to do it properly, I would have, if they give them more time, I would have put them in the main event. Because, it gives the women the spot they deserve again if you're pushing them, and Rousey's money. Mm-hmm. But had it to the point where Rousey just kept holding off. Like, she knew she shouldn't jump the barrier.
She kept teasing that she's going to jump in and she just thinks better of it.
Yeah, maybe something along the lines of they knock Natalya down and first she's concerned. But, at the end of the day, it's a wrestling organisation. People are going to get knocked down, so sit your ass down, And then it's like, okay, I think she's okay. Have Mickey and Alexa in control for most of it. Make it more of a handicap. A lot of extreme spots. Have Nia begin to come back a little bit. Have them stop the momentum somehow. And then turn their attention to Natalya. And start, taunting Ronda and stuff. thinking she ain't going to jump the barrier, and then...
So beat the shit into her and just, like, they're grabbing, like, Natalia's hair and lifting her head up, facing towards Ronda, and, like, pointing at Ronda's like, you're not going to do shit, you know?
Yeah. To the point that, like, Ronda just goes, you know what, I've had enough. Have security hold her back, and then Bliss and Mickey, still taunting her like, we're going to destroy your best friend.
Yeah.
That's when Nia can get up and clean the clock of security. So now you've got Nia and Rousey together, and you see Mickey and Alexa Brickett, and then a full-on brawl come out. More security by Kurt Angle comes out to take Ronda away, and in the confusion, maybe another weapon shot by Bliss.
DDT on the chair.
Yeah, for the win. And I think the match lasted, 10 minutes? With all that, you could have got at least 15, maybe 20 out of that. And it's the build-up to Ronda coming over the barrier.
Yeah,
you wanted the crowd to
They kind of executed
explode.
too soon.
Yeah, there was no, everyone was kind of like, oh, she's going to.
It was like as soon as Natalia was being beaten up on the side, she got in pretty damn... Within 30 seconds, she was like, that's it. And it's just like, it was too soon.
You want the audience foaming at the mouth for when Ronda... It's like,
a hot
you know
tag.
it's coming.
It's like a hot tag.
Yeah.
It's just like you're waiting at bated breath for that to happen.
Yeah, it just seemed... It was almost like, well, everyone knows Alexa's going to win, so let's just rush through the match. Because no... The point of this is to suspend our belief of maybe, or this isn't the way it's going to go. But no,
play with your emotions, and that's what you meant to.
Yeah, it was
all right. It was.
See, and this now brings us to the AJ Rusev match.
Yes. So obviously not the main event.
No,
which I was surprised about. I thought it would be.
The only reason I thought was right. Maybe it's because they know the likes of Seth and Dolph in any kind of match can deliver, but an Iron Man match, it might be the show stealer. So we'll see what happens. So kind of put all their money behind that. But also I thought, is this to kind of... The first thing I was thinking, well, if the WWE title match is on now, it's telling me AJ's winning. But me being that wishful thinker is going, is this a double bluff?
Yeah.
Is this they going...
Even when it said "and new" on the back of Aiden's jacket, I was like, all right, maybe?
Well, yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't mind AJ keeping a title, but it's just like, Rusev is so over and so overdue, this fucking title.
This is the match where I would have rather the Bliss-Nia thing maybe ended in a DQ and given the Extreme Rules stipulation to Rusev AJ, because I think they could have played around with it more. Because no offence to the females, but as impressive as they have been over the last few years and doing ladder matches and stuff, they are still a little bit gentle when it comes to playing with weapons.
Spots.
Yeah,
I've noticed that a little bit, and I don't think it's their fault. I think it's probably Vince going, you can't hit yourself too hard.
Yeah, possibly.
Which is pathetic and it's sexist, but unfortunately, he's the boss.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, unfortunately, it's going to sound a little bit... Well, not sexist, but Nia's got such a bigger build, she can probably take a couple of hard weapon shots more than the likes of Alexa can. Because Alexa, as good a wrestler she is, she's still quite got a delicate figure, despite being in shape for a wrestler, to a point where if you really smacked her hard with a chair, it could still really hurt her hard. Where, I don't know, a man has got more...
Someone like Rusev.
Yeah, they can take a shot a little bit better, or, So, but maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my opinion.
I mean, the match itself, it was standard, but I did quite enjoy it. It wasn't amazing, but it was a good, solid match, I felt. It could have gone a few minutes longer, but I still enjoyed it. There was still some good spots, there was still some good moments in it. It was building up well enough. There's a couple of false finishes that I quite enjoyed.
The half
accolade because his leg was fucked. They worked some reasonable stories into it, considering they haven't built very long for this match.
Yeah.
I just felt I wanted a little bit more out of it.
Yeah, I thought
it wasn't bad. It just I felt I could have gone for another 4. Yeah,
I didn't think Rusev dropped the ball as such, but I thought
it proved that he definitely deserved to be in this spot. I think he did really well.
I just thought maybe I was expecting more from Rusev, or maybe partially a little bit more from AJ. It seemed like, in a way, AJ was kind of put the ball in Rusev's court, like show me what you can do. Where I'm probably wrong, because obviously, as we all know, it takes 2 to tango in wrestling. But I don't know. I think I was expecting the crowd weren't as behind Rusev as I thought they were going to be.
I think the reason was because they're so... I don't know why. They were so like a little bit deflated in this match.
Yeah.
They were still chanting stuff, but they were chanting Rusev Day more in the Lashley Reigns match.
Yeah, they were, which was bizarre.
Yeah.
But I mean, this comes straight onto the main event. Like, so yeah, AJ retained. It was an okay match.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think at the end of it, it shows that Rusev deserves to be in this spot.
Yeah, it shows Rusev's got potential, but also I think it was logically the best thing to do, because I couldn't really see Rusev walking into SummerSlam as champion. AJ, yeah.
True.
If you're going to build up SummerSlam, AJ's still got that headline spot.
I suppose, yeah. So, main event. So, Rollins versus Ziggler for the Intercontinental, 30-minute Ironman match.
Do you know what pissed me off more than anything else? Yes.
Pissed off.
They really shit on that match.
Yeah, they shit. And the fact that it's just like, oh, we don't want Reigns to be headlining. The one time he's not headlining, they're giving it to some guys that can fucking do this shit. And they did. It was a great match.
It was a
really great match. But they also were doing it, treating it like the Royal Rumble and just going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, every time they fucking around. I was like, guys, shut the fuck up and watch what's in front of your eyes. You're moaning all the time that you're not getting this shit in the main event. And when they finally give you exactly what you want in the main event, these two fucking workhorses with the Intercontinental belt, a really good fucking solid match, you're busy shitting all over it. What are you doing?
Yeah,
it's like you're literally going to look at it, so Vince is going to look at that, and with his little narrow-headed little mind, he's going to look at it and go, right, well, those two aren't getting over.
That's it. That was what I was thinking. I was thinking...
That's the only thing annoying about this match. The actual match itself, the guys in the ring doing what they did, everyone played their part perfectly, and I think the match was a great match.
Watching the match, I thought, right, again, I suppose with those two kind of characters, I was expecting a little bit more of them. The amount of falls that happened within the half hour were a little bit not believable in my sense. The Drew McIntyre thing, the first 2 or 3, of course.
Yeah.
When Drew first got disqualified and then attacked again, there was a part of me thinking, well, now that you've already called for the disqualification and he's doing it again, couldn't you technically do another one? That's what I was thinking.
But he just threw him out instead.
Yeah, he just chucked him out, and obviously Dolph took advantage of that to bring him to 3-1.
Yeah.
After that, it would have been more believable if Drew had properly destroyed him. He did batter him, but I'm thinking more like through tables, through barriers and stuff. So the next few falls for Dolph were easier to get. But I don't know, I think I expected more spots.
I mean, I suppose in the middle it did dip in pace a bit, but then it climbed back up again.
Yeah, again,
the
distraction of the crowd did not help.
No, it didn't. It was annoying the fuck out of me. It was really hard to try and ignore it. And you even know that they took the clock off the main screen at one point because you could hear them booing.
But this is
what are you doing? It's like, if you're going to behave like children, of course they're going to fucking do that, because you're meant to be focusing on the match, not on the clock.
At first, it did make me smirk. Because, but
the first 2 times, fine, it's a laugh. But if you're doing it every fucking minute, it's
it's like, well,
it's insulting.
And Vince's little thin-headed, thin-minded, I suppose.
Narrow-minded.
Narrow-minded, that's the word. Thank you. Narrow-minded sense, he's probably going, we should have put on Roman last. So when you get Roman last again, it's Philadelphia's fault. Is it Philadelphia? Or Pennsylvania?
No, I can't remember. But
it'd be on with P.
It's their fault.
Yeah. So... When the clock thing first happened, it was like, this is kind of funny, but maybe read it back a bit. Now, Vince's fuck-up was taking the clock down. I get why he did, but it's kind of taunting them.
Yeah.
Where after the 4th or 5th time, they probably would have been like, enough's enough.
They probably would have dissipated eventually.
So when the clock came back, they're like, we could play. Instead of going, every 10 seconds instead of every minute.
They were doing it all over the place.
Yeah, it was annoying. Fair enough, when it got to the last 5 minutes, they got invested.
It got really picked up, especially with the last moment. He finally hits the curb stomp, and he just can't quite cover it.
Well, the 2 things I thought... I was going to say, I expected more spots, but when I think back at it, it was like, no, I don't think that half hour went quick.
Yeah.
So that's a compliment to say, I was invested for the full half hour.
Even with the distraction of the crowd.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, weren't the most... jaw-dropping wrestling match, but it was a very good wrestling match.
Well-told story. And it proves that no matter what happens, these two can do their job. Yeah.
I'm expecting, again, I've had this complaint with Seth a little bit recently of maybe do something different with your Arsenal. And he did. The one different thing in this match was the sharpshooter, which I liked. That was new. I liked that. Now, near the end, where Dolph rolled out during the 4-4 thing, and everyone's going, "Oh yeah, I see what Dolph's trying to do. He's trying to make it. It's like it's 4-4." I was thinking, well, he's still got a minute on the clock here. If Seth let Dolph run off, he could have got the count-out victory, took up to 5-4, and walked out with his cut-no title.
That's true.
I was like, just as a part of me was thinking, Seth, leave him, let him run away like a little bitch. Take the count-out victory, you've won.
But again, it's not an honourable win, is it?
No, I suppose not. But the draw thing, the problem with not watching it live, because I watched it the Monday after, I saw how much time was left on the
I didn't check
show.
it. I was very tempted, but I thought, no, I'm not going to check it.
I couldn't help it. When Kurt came out and he goes overtime, I was thinking, well, it ain't going to last long, so now much left. But I still like the way it went down.
Yeah, so did I. I mean, it's fine. The fact that Drew came back in, distracted him, and then the zigzag goodnight.
It was that kind of, heartbreaking thing for Seth.
As I was saying earlier, I was going to come to it, as soon as I found out this was going to be the main event, my brain was going into overload. I was like, why are they putting this on the main event? It's like, there's got to be a reason. There's got to be. And then the first thing that popped into my head was, Dean's coming back. He's got to come back. He's going to come back and fuck up Seth, and it's going to be SummerSlam with these two. It's going to be fucking awesome. Yeah. And it didn't happen. I was kind of disappointed it didn't happen, but again, like you said, I still enjoyed the way it ended. It was still a good, awesome match. If not having a clue, and then you just hear that music of Dean, I'd have gone fucking skits. I'd have been well over for this.
I'm pretty sure Triple H would have said this, and I hope Vince said this after the show was over. When Seth and Dolph got backstage, I'm hoping one of them at least, of Triple H or Vince, took them aside and went, "You guys did nothing wrong. That was a good match. It was the crowd that."
Yeah, I'm hoping that Triple H did that. I don't see Vince doing it personally.
No,
but I could see Triple H doing that. Because reassuring them, was like, guys, you fucking.
It wouldn't have surprised me if Seth, because Seth always craves that main event spotlight in a good way, I suppose. Of kind of going, no, me and Dolph can do this. Give us the main event, please. And Vince going, okay, just don't drop the ball. I'm hoping to God Vince had the foresight to go, he didn't drop the ball. It was a good match, just the crowd were being dicks with the clock. And if it, again, like you said, if you got to behave like children, treat like children. If I were Vince now, I'd go, if it was Pittsburgh they were in, I know Kurt wouldn't like this, be like, right, all those shows we had scheduled for the next year to be in Pittsburgh, cancel them, we'll do them somewhere else. Because they're going to
that's a way of punishing the crowd without punishing the players.
Yeah, it's like, by all means, the show will still be on, but you'll have to either travel more or watch it on TV.
I think that's a fair commandment.
Yeah, if you're going to be...
Hopefully he's clever enough to do that.
If you're going to, in a way, intentionally ruin the main event of a pay-per-view, not as a protest like the Roman Joe thing was,
being a dick.
Just to be like, again, they bought their tickets, they have the right to do whatever they want. But do not bitch and moan about it when it's your fault at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We want a decent wrestling show, you've been asking for it, and yet as soon as we get it, you start being dicks about it. So, Pittsburgh kind of let the main event down.
Disappointment. The match itself was good. I mean, overall...
The show was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yes. However... I'm probably going to give it a 5.
Yeah.
Purely because I feel like I'm right in the middle here, because there's some really good matches and good storytelling, but then on the opposite flip side, there is some quick shit and pointless matches.
Yeah, I agree. I'll give it 5 out of 10.
I think it's a filler pay-per-view.
Unfortunately...
to be honest, I think it's a filler one for SummerSlam.
Yeah, so
it felt like that.
Definitely.
It's like you're literally doing all these things to get through this quickly so you can move on to the bigger pay-per-view, which is not how you should conduct yourself, really.
No, every pay-per-view should be a big deal.
Yeah, it should be the last... It should be acting it. You should do it like Billy Joe Armstrong always says about his gigs for Green Day. He said, I go out there and I play like it's the last time I'm ever going to play. It's the same thing for a pay-per-view. Not just the people that are doing the pay-per-view, the people that are putting the pay-per-view together. You should be playing it like it's the last time that you're ever going to do it.
If you want, say, the likes of WrestleMania and SummerSlam for those dream match types, like this guy versus this guy, or with this on the line and stuff, all the other ones in between, whatever storylines you're doing, spice it up a bit. Throw in a stipulation or make it a very intriguing storyline. Like
build it properly.
Well, the Attitude Era, I think it was...
The problem is that in our day and age now, where everybody's there to get their quick fix, which is why we don't get any longevity with storylines. It's very rare we do anyway. Most of them are over within a pay-per-view or two because they want, we want to move on to the next thing. So, no, you can go on forever. Yeah. Like the only, we do get a couple of them, like Nakamura and Styles, that went on for a while, maybe a bit too long. Yeah. But any other storyline, they're over within a couple of pay-per-views, or even just one pay-per-view. And it's just like, you can have longevity with this, but you're just refusing to because you're thinking, oh, we've got to give them the next thing, the next fix, the next buzz line, the next tagline, the next hashtag, the next little buzz thing for someone to get hyped over. No, you can give them that in a couple of years. These people aren't going to go anywhere.
Vince needs to... Triple H has NXT, which means he's in charge of the future. Vince needs to focus on the present.
But the problem is, as soon as the future gets to Vince, it gets fucked up.
It does get fucked up, and it's frustrating.
It gets built really well. Like Triple H builds really good storylines and characters in NXT, and every single time they go to the main roster, they fall flat.
They get demolished.
I think the last person that actually did all right, but even now he's having to build himself back up again, is KO.
The Shield.
The Shield.
Yeah, Roman and Seth have been protected by both Triple H and Vince.
But really. The rest of them, they've all fallen flat.
Yeah, I think I don't really know why they went with... Well, I do, in the sense of like wrestling skill, but I could say that about like Bobby Roode and all the other NXT guys. But they seem to really put their faith in Seth, and Seth proved it. Roman Reigns, they did the same, but a big part of that is because of his Samoan family wrestling heritage.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it. Don't tell me otherwise. That's definitely a huge factor. Same with Nia to a degree. Not knocking Nia, but that's just the case. What I was going to say. Yeah, in the early '99, just talking about like minor pay-per-views and the storylines there. Within the space of 2 months, Stone Cold Steve Austin was CEO, and then Vince was gone from the WWE because those were major storylines. Space of 2 months. Now we're lucky to get a major storyline after WrestleMania and in between SummerSlam. I mean, there is no major storyline at the minute. It just seems to be fuddled about.
They'll just like pick someone and throw him with someone, and then they'll flop it about again. Like, I'll go put him here. No, we'll put this person here. We'll do this. We'll do that. We'll do that. It's like they're not a deck of cards that you're going to constantly shuffle. You need to pick a couple of cards and put them together for a while.
Yeah, it's not fun when it's when the wrestler has no control. It's almost like. Okay.
At the end of the day, you're going to not like your job if you don't have any creativity whatsoever.
Well, that's it. You're just going to... May as well just sit him in a room and have, like, all the names in a hat and go, right, AJ...
This week you're going against that person.
Or the next pay-per-view, you're going to go against him. Here's your script. Go and do your job. So, no, don't do a script. Let's really sit down and think about this. Of what we can do.
The one saving grace we've got is that I've heard that Paul Heyman's writing for him again.
Good. Heyman's a genius.
Apparently he was the one that did the separation brawl thing with Lashley and Reigns, and that was the only part of that entire storyline where I actually got invested.
In a way.
I mean, I know I've seen it a million times, but it was a reasonable pull apart.
Yeah, it was okay, I suppose. I couldn't really get
the fact that he's writing for him again is good news.
Yeah.
Because hopefully he'll pepper some certain bits with his style and make it good.
Yeah, yeah.
But, I mean, overall, 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
We could have been better, but it could have been worse.
I mean... considering it went better than we thought, we had a lot to bitch about in this one.
We did bitch. The thumbnail's probably going to look more positive than what we're going to be saying, but we enjoyed it more than we hated it, so we'll just go with that.
At the end of the day, it's like we're wrestling fans, so we're going to still support it.
It's like people that are obsessed with EastEnders. They're going to constantly watch it no matter how shit and boring it gets because they're waiting for something big to happen. And that's what we do. We're waiting for the next big thing to happen.
And if we're not, we may bitch about storylines, but at the same time, we also like the decent wrestling matches we see when they do turn up.
Yeah.
The only other bit of news, I suppose, you might have heard about this, I don't know, is they've got rid of Clash of Champions.
Yes.
That's not happening. They've moved TLC from October to December.
Yep.
And now, by the looks of it, the only October pay-per-view we've got is that Australia special.
Okay.
Which I like because it's more of a major network house show, which means storyline-wise, you're going to have... I think you got Hell in a Cell in September, and then it's a full 2 months till Survivor Series.
Yeah. Good deal.
Yeah, for the minor pay-per-view of the Big Four, I think Survivor Series needs that. So after 2 months, you're going to be really wanting to see Survivor Series. Yeah, so I like that news. Yeah.
So that's Extreme Rules.
Mm-hmm.
Like, subscribe, share. It'll be up on YouTube on the Beard's Eye View thing. It'll also be on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher as well. And we'll be back in a few weeks for SummerSlam.
Yes, I hope you enjoyed it extremely well.